Well, it goes back to my early days with Darley / Godolphin, Caroline, and it was my first Melbourne Premier sale. And I'd struck up a friendship early in the game with the Listons at Three Bridges, and they were selling a lovely Exceed and Excel colt out of a mare called Gentle Call. And when the hammer went down at 750,000, Darley Australia had purchased the colt, and I was delighted for Three Bridges and the Liston family. And it was at the time it was a record price for the Melbourne Premier sale, and we went out for dinner and celebrated that night. And that's what the game's about. It's about, you know, celebrating good times with good people, and I'm always pleased to see good people get a good result, and the Listons certainly did on that occasion.
It is what it's all about. I mean, you know, from the fabulous family operation that Three Bridges is with the Liston family to a huge operation such as Darley, there are so many great mateships and you know, people supporting each other in this industry.
There is, Caroline, and it's what I love about the game is the camaraderie amongst people, and everyone's happy to see other people successful, and that's a big thing, and it's important, and there's plenty of tough times in this game, so when you do have good results, it's important that you celebrate them and enjoy the moment.
Spendthrift's American owner B. Wayne Hughes says breeders are the backbone of the industry, and he's doing everything in his power to support breeders in Australia, with 2 new stallions added to the Spendthrift roster in Victoria. VINO, ROSSO and OMAHA Beach offer great outcross options for Australian breeders, with some great incentives too to breed with Spendthrift in 2020.
Yeah, we're growing every day, Caroline, and I think it's very exciting for us to be able to introduce horses of the quality of Omaha Beach and VINO Rosso to our Victorian roster.
VINO Rosso, I mean, he's by a dual Horse of the Year, Curlin, who won a Breeders' Cup Classic as well, the Preakness Dubai World Cup, and from a Street Cry mare. I mean, you know, global pedigrees don't get much better than that.
No, they don't, and I think a horse like him, it screams, send me your Danehill, Danzig or More Than Ready line mare, really, which is obviously a wonderful opportunity for breeders in this country.
VINO Rosso has taken the lead.
Well, he earned over 4.8 million US. I mean, that, you know, he's the you know, best son of Curlin, really, and to win a Breeders' Cup Classic, I guess you really would compare that to a Cox Plate winner.
Yeah, definitely, and I think to win the equivalent of a Cox Plate and demolishing 9 individual Group 1 winners on that day, I think it's a feather in his cap that we're very happy to see there. It's very exciting to have a horse that you can say has a time form rating superior to horses of the calibre of Winx, Nature Strip, just to name a couple, but obviously they're 2 horses that highlighted our racing scenes in 2019.
But it is just such a wonderful outcross with, as you say, so many Danehill, More Than Ready, those sorts of mares.
Yeah, they're the mares that we've got in our broodmare band that we've penciled in for him. We bought a few mares from those sire lines last year, and we intend to support him heavily with those lines, and that's what we're working on our clients on, because obviously you go through his pedigree by Curlin out of a Street Cry mare. His next dams from the Deputy Minister sire line, and his next dams from the Roberto sire line. So they're all sire lines that have worked fantastically here in Australia.
How would you describe him physically? What sort of physical type is he? What are you sort of saying to mare owners is really suited to VINO Rosso?
He stands 16-1. He's got a lovely shoulder that's developing well. He's settled right into the environment here. He's got a lovely head on him and good length to him, so he's probably got a little bit more leg under him than most horses, but I think that'll complement those lower to the ground, speedy Australian type mares.
But VINO Rosso's getting away.
He's undefeated at 2, a Wood Memorial at 3, which is a race that's won by a horse of the calibre of Frosted, who's had great support here in Victoria in his first few years at stud, and then on to his 4-year-old season where he was unlucky not to be crowned a champion racehorse of America for 2019.
Omaha Beach, yes!
Omaha Beach, your other new boy, of course, from the US. He's by Warfront. We know, of course, what incredible impact that he's making as a sire of sires in Australia, with declaration of war, with, Derby winner, Melbourne Cup winner and plenty of others.
It's a great opportunity for breeders to support a sire line that's obviously worked in this country, and Warfront's just a new branch of that Danzig sire line. And as you say, Declaration of War's ticking the boxes with his 3-year-old crop of last year. When we talk about what Omaha Beach achieved on the racetrack, I think we're talking about a horse that's of the highest quality. To be able to win a 1200 metre Group 1 and an 1800 metre Group 1 as a 3-year-old, I think he's the first horse in some 30 years to achieve that feat. So, like I said, we're dealing with a high-class athlete here.
His rating is equal to some of Australia's very best sprinters.
Yeah, when you look at the performance that he put in the Santa Anita Sprint Championship, that race was equal to the best runs of a horse like Yes, 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 and it was actually superior to the best performances of horses like Exceedance, Piarata and Microphone, all horses that are retiring to stud in Australia this year with service fees that are far higher than this horse's. Well, I think the first thing that you notice when Omaha walks out in front of you is just that strength through his shoulder and the lovely deep girth that he's got. I think that he probably has the deepest girth that I've ever seen on a horse. So to be able to tell people that, I think that's one of the first things that you look for as a yearling buyer. I'd probably speak for myself there, but that's what I'd look for. So if he can throw that, I think that that's a step in the right direction.
The Spendthrift team, you've been buying up mares, around Australia in particular. At the Gold Coast, $600,000 for Santa Monica, $450,000 for Solar Star, both going to Omaha Beach.
We were told by the head office in Kentucky that we needed to upgrade our broodmare band to support the new horses that we've got and to be able to step into that Magic Millions market and spend sort of over $1.5 million on some high quality mares. It's great for the horse and something that we're very fortunate to be able to have done.
And obviously they complement your stallions there that you've supported heavily, Overshare, Gold Standard and Swear.
Yeah, Overshare's obviously a very good-looking son of I'm Invincible. His foals are high quality individuals. He went from a book of 80 mares in his first season, and that went to 150 in his second. Gold Standard, again, first foals we're very happy with, and his book doubled again in his second year. And Swear, our first stakes winner here in Australia, he's got his first crop of 2-year-olds that have entered some of the best stables in Victoria and Australia, and look, we're just hoping that they can hit the ground running, but 3 very well credentialed horses that we are offering on that Breed Secure program.
And on your website, as I mentioned in the intro, there's a quote from B. Wayne Hughes that the breeders are the backbone of our industry. Often, they take huge risks financially, there's no reward, but at times like this, your Breed Secure is more important than ever for breeders.
Yeah, Breed Secure is obviously a very innovative program set up by Mr. Hughes, and it's great when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. But in a year like this, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for those breeders that are struggling for the cash flow but still want to participate in this wonderful industry to be involved and not have to put the money out of their own bank account.
You've done so much more work on the property. How's it all coming together now?
Well, we haven't stopped since you were last here. We've got the loading and unloading area. There was a little setback through COVID, but that'll be up and running a couple of weeks into the season, which will be great. The new office we're about to move into, so that's exciting for the team. And obviously we finished off our stallion barns there just before the last breeding season. So there's still plenty to be done, but I think we've done plenty in the last 12 months.
And obviously the colours and the whole spendthrift philosophy, I think Australians are becoming very much more acquainted with the success that you're planning to bring to anyone associated with you in Australia.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful for the brand, and we just hope that we can go to that next level in the next 12 months.
Such great variety for Australian breeders at Spendthrift in Victoria. Coming up on Bred to Win, Coringal studs Stuart Lamont in Arrowfield studs, the horse who made you love racing.